Last week, while the world was distracted by other headlines, this happened. A Liberian-flagged oil tanker was seized by Iran's Revolutionary Guard while navigating international waters. This was not an isolated act. It was the latest move in a dangerous game of chess, played every single day in the global economy's most vulnerable location. You may not know this place by name, but every time you fill up your car, you feel the effects of what happens here. This is the Strait of Hormuz, and it is dangerously close to becoming the flashpoint for the next world economic crisis. To understand the danger, you first have to understand the geography. The Strait of Hormuz is the waterway connecting the great oil producers of the Persian Gulf, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, and Iran, to the open ocean. At its narrowest point, it is just 39 kilometers or 24 miles wide. But through this tiny passage flows roughly 1/5 of the entire planet's oil consumption, over 20 million barrels per day. It is the jugular vein of the industrial economy. If it is severed, the world stops. And herein lies the geopolitical problem. On one side of the strait is Iran, on the other, key allies of the United States. It's a natural border between historical adversaries, and the U.S. Navy is tasked with ensuring this vein remains open at all times. A task that, in 2025, is harder than ever before. Iran knows it cannot defeat the U.S. Navy in a conventional battle, so they have specialized in asymmetric warfare tactics, swarms of fast attack craft that can overwhelm a larger ship's defenses, low-cost attack drones, and a vast arsenal of naval mines and shore-based anti-ship missiles. The Iranian strategy is one of constant harassment, low-altitude drone flybys, boarding commercial vessels, missile tests. It's a way to project strength and to remind the world that they can close the strait whenever they choose. In response, the United States has deployed Task Force 59, an experimental fleet of AI-powered surveillance ships and drones, creating a high-tech cat-and-mouse game that runs around the clock. The question isn't if an incident will occur, but when one of these incidents will spiral out of control. A miscalculation, a nervous officer, a drone shot down, and the escalation could be immediate. And if you think this is a theoretical threat, history shows us it is very real. During the Iran-Iraq War in the 1980s, the Persian Gulf was the stage for the so-called tanker war. Both sides attacked hundreds of merchant vessels to cripple each other's economy. The Strait of Hormuz became a war zone. The United States Navy had to intervene, escorting tankers and even engaging in direct combat with Iranian forces. The crisis proved two things. First, that Iran is willing to use attacks on shipping as a weapon of war. And second, that the United States is willing to go to war to keep the oil flowing. So, what would happen if Iran tried to close the Strait of Hormuz today? The impact would be honestly instantaneous and global. Analysts predict the price of a barrel of oil, currently around $90, could jump to $200, $300, or even higher in just a matter of days. The price you pay for gasoline would double or triple. The cost to transport any product would explode, triggering crippling inflation. Companies would go bankrupt. The global economy, already fragile, would plunge into a deep recession. It would be an economic shock greater than the 2008 crisis or even the pandemic. The energy crisis would become a social and political crisis on a worldwide scale, and all of it because of a 24-mile-wide waterway. Today, a fragile peace is maintained in the Strait of Hormuz, a peace held together by a complex web of diplomacy, threats, and the constant presence of the world's most powerful navy. But yeah, recent events show that this web is fraying. The Strait of Hormuz isn't just a shipping lane, it is the fuse of the global energy system. And right now, as you watch this video, adversaries are playing with fire dangerously close to that fuse. The great question is not whether it can be lit, but if anyone will be able to extinguish it in time. The world's dependence on geographic choke points like Hormuz is one of the greatest vulnerabilities of our civilization. Do you believe the world is prepared for such a crisis? Leave your opinion in the comments below. To continue understanding the forces that truly move the world, subscribe. The history of the future is being written now, and we are watching